What are the 5 trends shaping the future of work? Let's go to action points. So in these action points, we'll be attempting to answer the questions that are posed by strategic leaders, including you, across the public, private, and social sector, which we all operate in. What will it take to navigate this crisis that we currently exist in? And the assumptions that have been rendered irrelevant. Why is it imperative at this time? So, the answer to this crisis is a call to act. I mentioned earlier that there is a huge, permit me to say that, huge mental collapse for a lot of people. A lot of us are still living in denial. We are still expecting some things to change. We are still expecting things to go back to status quo. You are still waiting for COVID to go away so that you can start that business. You are still waiting for so many things to even out so that you can start that business. You are still waiting for the right opportunity so that you can get that job. Guess what? There's nothing you're waiting for. Because if you don't start to cope now, then you will begin to evolve so that you can thrive. You will find out that you will just start going under. May we not go under in Jesus' name. It's important that we realize that our lives is in our hands. There is nothing God said to you about 2020 that will go to naught. God does not falter. The word of God stands sure. I remember in September last year, God started speaking to me about 2020. And you know, there's this strange thing about it. He started telling me what 2020 will represent for me. 2020 is a leap year. How I would learn, I will evolve, and telling me everything I needed to know about 2020. But when it came to December and it was time to write our goals, I tell you, if you go to my Facebook feed and you go back to last year, I put up a post that I don't have goals to write for 2020 because honestly, the Holy Spirit did not give me any goals in 2020. What he told me was to consolidate on 2019. So I said, I'm just going to move into 2020, not as a dimension of a year. I was going to move into it as a continuation of another year. So for me, 2020, new year was going to start sometime later in the year. For me, 2019 was not over, not by numerical dates. And looking back now, I understand. So every time God talks to you about a year, he knows what he's talking about. He knows the beginning from the end. He knows the end from the beginning. And he's able to accomplish his word. So why are you waiting on that word? Why are you allowing environmental factors stop you from acting in the midst of this crisis? I know you tell me you have quite a number of reasons. I don't have money. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't this. I don't that. I agree. I empathize. I understand. Guess what? I'm in that same situation. But I chose to act. I chose to act. I chose to act. So today I'll be taking us through 4 stages, leading from the crisis of today to the new normal, and would emerge even after the battle against coronavirus has been won. Number 1 is resolve. Number 2 is resilience. Number 3 is return. And number 4 is reimagination. These steps will not be easy, but we would have to face it. You don't understand? You will encourage yourself in the Lord. You will speak the word of God concerning yourself, concerning your business, concerning your brand, concerning your career. You will speak it until it profits you, because it does not falter. It must come to pass. These 4 stages represent the imperative of our time and the challenges that we must win against him to find an economically and socially viable path to the new normal. So number 1, resolve. Many organizations, many persons, including yourself, are dealing with an acute slowdown in your operations. There are some systems or some brands that are thriving in the midst of COVID-19. The health sector is doing well. I think food, FMCGs, we need to eat. Anyhow, people must eat. So those particular areas of the economy are doing better than some. To accelerate their business offerings to meet demand in critical areas spanning food, house, technology, and FMCGs, in that direction. What are the areas of the economy that have suddenly gotten the kind of attention that it never got before? Don't tell me too many people are in the health sector. If you have, what will stand you out is your brand differentiation. What is your customer experience like? What is your product offering about? How are you emotionally connecting to your customers? And when I use the word customers, I mean anybody you exchange value for. So if you're a professional, a career professional, and you're listening to me tonight, I'm talking to you as well. How are you emotionally conversations that you need to exchange your value for? How are you networking? Educational institutions, for instance, were quick to go online. My children's school is yet to start a Zoom class, my younger children. But the ones in secondary school have been going to school. So I ask myself, in another 2-3 weeks, 1 month, are they sure they will have students? They will not. Classrooms are shut down and students need to be engaged. So organizations in the school industry that have moved online are still making issues that we're going through are real. What are you undertaking as a professional, entrepreneur, or service provider to sustain customer engagement in your area of influence? What are you doing? What are you doing? That's my question. What are you doing? How are you making sure that your customers always come back? What are you doing? How are you making sure you get that dream job? What are you doing? There are choices that must be made regardless of isolation, social distancing, quarantine, or whatever name you want to call it. That is why the first stage is called resolve. The need to determine the scale, the pace, and the depth of action required at your own level of influence. What is the scale of action? What is the pace? How fast? What is the depth? For some of you, you will need to turn around your ideologies entirely. For some careers, you will shut down your career and pick up another one. Hello? Yes. That's deep. You will need to look through your skill sets and see what is marketable. What is a performance currency in the times that we exist in right now? You will need to do that. And at your level of influence, as a housewife, as a businesswoman, as a career professional, as a content creator, as a business developer, as an IT person, as an educationalist, in your peculiar area, you need to resolve. So when you're done resolving, what's the next thing you need to do? When you're done resolving, in the face of these challenges, resilience is the next thing. It is very vital. Resilience is the ability to recover quickly from difficulties and toughness. For some of us, COVID has punched us in the face, in the guts, and we're in one corner. We have refused to recover. You have to recover. My sister, my brother, you have to recover. The issues have not gone anywhere, but you need to come out of it, face it head on, and begin to do. Like I always like to say, stagnant water stinks. Nothing should exist in a vacuum. Yes. If you sit at home and you don't work, for instance, when it's time for you to get another job, I, as a human resource consultant, will ask you, this your gap in your CV, what were you doing? That means human beings were not expected to exist in a vacuum. Stagnant water will gather debris. It will gather dust. It will gather sand. It will gather fungi. It will gather bacteria. So you need to find that inner strength. If you are a Christian, pray in tongues. If you can pray in tongues, fellowship with the Holy Spirit. Let the joy of the Lord spring forth within you. You must have that ability to recover from difficulties and toughness. Frontline issues of cash management for liquidity and solvency are clearly paramount. Much of the population will experience uncertainty and personal financial stress. Babes Olushola was doing a survey. I was part of her last webinar. I couldn't make her first webinar, where she was asking the eating pattern of many households in the COVID-19 lockdown. And the statistics were heartbreaking. So we cannot deny that a lot of people are struggling. I consolidate with you. I empathize. I totally get it. But you need to start making difficult decisions that will balance your economic and social sustainability. You must be doing something. If it's akara you want to fry, you will fry the akara. People must eat. Forget COVID. People will eat. Hello? You must be doing something. So find the resilience you need in these times. Find the resilience you need. Very important. Find the resilience you need. Just need to check my timer. Admin, please let me know how many minutes I have left. You can just put it in the chat room. You can just put it in the, yeah, I can see someone say, yes, so fry akara and sell with pride. You need to make those decisions. You can't sit at home and expect life to happen for you. Those decisions are essential. You need to make it fast and make it quick. So, some people are currently making money. So if you make those decisions, you realize that people are making money. I am a customer seductress. I teach people how to emotionally engage their customers. If you have not read my book, you're missing. You need to buy that book. Permit me to quickly diverge into that corner. You need to get that book. How you can connect to your customers, even in the midst of social distancing. Because social distancing is not emotional distancing. Some of us are beginning to even distance ourselves from family members because we can't see them. There is a way you nurture emotional connections. That book will teach you how to keep your customers coming back and how to attract new want. Some people are making money. I quickly had to look at myself. In a lockdown, nobody's engaging customers. All of us are customers, but we're not transacting. So I had to quickly look at what else is a need that is current and could make sure I made money in the midst of COVID-19. And the future of work was it. That's how the future of work community started. It's a huge community on Telegram. A huge community where we have learning skills for the future of work. Critical thinking, decision making, you know, so many skills that we're teaching. Social and emotional intelligence, how you can get yourself relevant where we are. So my question to you, are you making money? If people are making money, why are you not making money? What are you doing right now to make sure you make money? Like someone said in the chat room, fry akara, fry it with pride. Start thinking. Critical thinking is another skill that we think. People hate to think. People hate to think. People hate to think. It's the hardest thing for a lot of us to think. We just refuse. I can't deal. I can't think about it. I don't want to go there. You're on your own. I have news for you. You have to think. Oh. It's not optional. Your thinking is critical to your growth. So, when you have moved from resilience, you now begin to return. As an entrepreneur, you begin to return. As a business, you begin to return. Returning businesses to operational health after a severe shutdown is extremely challenging. You will need to start creating products and services for clearly existing customers and stop looking for customers for your preferred products. This is not the time to create, to sell snow to the Eskimo. You don't understand? You now need to carry your eyes and start looking for Eskimos. No, you will stand where you are. See what people around you need. And you will create products for existing customers. You know, I like to sew. That's all I like to do. People are not sewing. So what are you doing? Have you thought about styling? I'm always on social media. I'm on YouTube. If someone comes to style me, I have to pay for it. Have you thought about other avenues? Can you teach cutting? Can you teach personal sewing? Can you teach a master class for personal sewing? You must be thinking. You need to create products and services for clearly existing customers and stop looking for customers for your own preferred agenda. You know, I read forestry. I'm looking for a job in forestry. You go tell. You need to look at the jobs that are available and acquire the skills that will make you relevant for those jobs. Yes. This is not the time of you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You must learn new tricks. That's why I'll quickly take us to how do you learn new skills? Because I can't end this class without not talking about learning new skills. There are skills that are relevant in the new normal and you must learn it. It's not optional. You are not too old to go back to school. You're not too old to get learning online. You're not too old to be self-taught. You as a leader must therefore assess your entire business system or your career or your profession and plan contingency actions in order to return yourself or your enterprise to maximum productivity. You need to plan. Please, can that person mute their microphone? Thank you. Can you mute your microphone? To return yourself to maximum productivity. Career professionals need to start aggressively updating their skill sets. I just said that. Across the board, because the job space has become more cutthroat than ever before. Employers want one person who can do the job of 3 people effortlessly. So start building capacity. You have to build capacity. Are you still with me? You can type in the chat room. Are you still with me? Are you following me? Can you hear me clearly? Okay, TBC Lucky, I can see you. Olushola, I can see you. Debbie, I can see you. Faith, I can see you. Omishore, thank you for following. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just to be sure you can hear me clearly. So you need to start building capacity. Very importantly, start building capacity. The next level after you return is reimagination. As a man thinketh in his heart, so easy. You need to start to think. You need to start to think. You need to start to think in areas. How can I improve myself? You need to start to think. You need to start to think. You need to start to think in areas. How can I improve myself? Don't mind me. Oh, I'm begging my spouse to help me put on the fan. I'm hot. You need to start to think. A pandemic of this scale will create this continuous shift in the preferences and expectations of employees, customers, and consumers. These shifts and their impact on how we live, work, and use technology will emerge more clearly over the weeks and the months. It will show as we go. By the end of 2020, you should have a direction of your area of relevance. Very important. You should. So you should start thinking now. Some of the things you will think about, you cannot implement them in the immediate. But strategically, you need to start getting it covered. You need to start getting it covered. You can't leave it to chance. You can't leave it to chance. So you reimagine so that you can reinvent. People and institutions, including yourself, that reinvent will make the most of insights and foresight as preferences evolve, and you will definitely succeed. So you need to go into a session of brainstorming. If you run a brand, sit down with your team. If you have not been doing strategic planning, this is the time to strategically begin to plan. You need to brainstorm. You need to think, what are the evolving preferences? What are the evolving trends? You need to study the trends online. You need to check what other countries are doing. Before I started going into taking this future of work classes, I checked what were the prevailing trends of the future of work. Clearly, the online world of contactless commerce and transaction has fostered ways that reshape consumer behavior forever. As a customer, as a consumer, the new normal has reshaped our behavior forever. It has reshaped the way we think. So you need to do what? Embrace the new normal and innovate. You have to. It's not negotiable. You have to embrace the new normal and start to innovate. You either innovate or you die. Because there is no middle place. You evolve to thrive or you stay and die. We will not die. We will live to declare the glory of the Lord in the land of the living. But the earlier you begin to move, the better for you. Now, when you reimagine, you will find out that the crisis will not only help you to understand where you are, but would reveal opportunities to improve the performance of your business, your career, or your profession. The result is a stronger sense of what makes businesses, people, organizations more resilient to shocks, more productive, and be able to deliver to their customers. If you can move inside of this COVID, as difficult as it is, I promise you, no other thing can hold you down. I never pray for another pandemic, but the coping skills you will come out of in this season will help you in a lot of levels be more resistant to shocks in the future. That means your response time will be shorter. It won't take you so long to respond to certain shocks. I had to do that very quickly. I had to evolve quickly because I realized that bills are not going anywhere. People was teasing me on Wednesday when I was on conversations with Pimo that I have 4 kids. Yes, bills are not going anywhere. Children eat. And they will not, because of the pandemic, not eat. In this pandemic, they have outgrown all their clothes. They will wear clothes. I have dependents that I need to take care of. It's not going anywhere. So your imagination is very crucial. Remilekun, please, can you help mute your mic? Babies, Remilekun, please, can you mute your mic? Thank you. So if we understand all these factors, if we understand all these factors, we will know that learning new skills is not optional. It's a no-brainer. The relevant skills for now, you need to learn them. So how do you learn new skills? I'll start from the very basic. There are 3 major barriers why we don't learn new skills, including yourself and myself. We tell ourselves, I can't learn something new. I can't do something new. You know, I'm too old for that. I'm too this, I'm too that. Why don't most of us spend more time systematically picking up new skills? Most people, number 1, don't commit to learning anything specific. Even worse, they never take a moment to figure out why they're interested in that particular skill. They never take a moment to figure out why they are interested in a particular skill. We just procrastinate and say, okay, I will learn French. I will learn German. I will learn Chinese. I will take this course. But do you know why you want to take that course? What is the why of taking that course you want to learn? Critical thinking. Why do you want to take critical thinking? A lot of us took courses in this lockdown, but you had no why. That's why after you took the course, you did not implement it in any way. It is not the hearer of the word, but the doer of the word. So if you don't have a why, don't learn that skill. There has to be a reason. Number 2, learning new skills can be intimidating. When you learn something new, there are enormous gaps in your understanding of the topic. And you are very aware of what you don't know. Learning new skills make you feel incompetent sometimes. Makes you feel, I remember someone saying to me at a review of one of their classes that, I'm just thinking, I have so much to learn. It can be a very undaunting feeling when you start learning new skills and you realize you don't know as much as you thought you know. And sometimes you're just frustrated and you ask yourself, where do I begin? You ask yourself, where do I begin? Number 3, learning new skills is usually frustrating. Let's say you push through the uncertainty long enough to actually sit down and practice. It can be frustrating, especially when you are not getting it as quickly as you thought you would. Especially when you are not getting it as quickly as you thought you would. So, how do you now learn new skills? You may ask. Babes, Folake, help us now. You are blowing too much grammar. Help us. Here is the thing. Indecision, intimidation, and frustrations are universal barriers to skill acquisition. So you need to first of all get over that. You need to decide. You need not to be intimidated. You cannot get frustrated, and you must decide, regardless of all these facts, that you will acquire that skill when you know the why. So whether it's public speaking, communication, which is a huge skill in the future of work. I said it on Wednesday, communication is a skill, it must be learned. Don't assume you know how to communicate. Hello? There is a language that every organization speaks. Every culture speaks. Every relationship speaks. So the diversity of communication is so wide. You need to master it round. And to do that, you need to get the skill. You need to get training. Whether it's graphic design, Photoshop, or even French, there's a skill out there that will boost your cachet in the future of work. And you currently have the time to work on it. Honestly, the lockdown was a good time to acquire some of these skills, but some of us were acquiring skills that are not even relevant to what we want to do part-time. These steps will help you choose the skills you want to focus on and come up with a professional development plan and stay motivated. Happy learning. So what are these steps to learning a new skill? Choose a skill. Choose a skill. You need to choose a skill. Identify those skills. Why is that skill important to your future? Ask yourself, what gaps in knowledge do I have on my job or business or the job I want? What gaps do I have? Be real. Don't lie to yourself. What skills do those around me have that I don't have? Everybody in your family, in your immediate circle, amongst your colleagues, know how to use Excel. You don't know how to use it. Hello? In this 21st century, you have to learn it. It's not optional. Because low-level jobs like secretaries, front desk, organizations are losing them. Because when you look at the relevance of what they bring to the table, organizations that are trying to cut overheads will lose those people and offer those jobs to virtual assistants. That doesn't cost them much. So you might need to start doing some things that you used to give to your secretary yourself. Get those skills. Hello? Get those skills. It's not negotiable. What gaps in knowledge are there on my team that I could fill? In your office, on your team, what gaps are there that you could fill? That should determine what kind of skills that you should be looking for. Number 2, research your options. Research your options. Once you have identified the skill you want to focus on, it's time to begin to brainstorm tangible ways to get it. Are there training programs you could enroll in? Are there free or paid courses online? Or even one-on-one coaching sessions with a mentor or a friend would be helpful. This is the time to get a coach. Hello, someone listen to me, put 2 ears. I've heard people say so many things about coaches. I have a coach. I am a coach. I have a coach. Hello? I have someone I run to that gives me perspective so I'm able to achieve my goals. If you have been on the same spot for so long, it means you do not have the internal drive to get yourself to where you need to be. Get a coach. Get an accountability partner. The difference between a coach and an accountability partner is that when you pay a coach, you are forced to hold up your side of the bargain. If I coach you, I will fine you when you don't do certain things. Because if you do not achieve your objectives, I have failed as my KPI. And I don't like to fail. Hello? Get a coach. Get a mentor. I'm not saying far mentor. You know that type. You are just watching somebody online. You're watching the person. So I will talk like Wendy Williams by the end of 2020. And you are still speaking with your, hands. You're on your own. You need someone beside you, one-on-one. That can say, don't use that H factor. Bring it back. Return it. Hello? Get a mentor that you can relate with. And guess what? You don't pick your mentors pick you. Yes, in the best mentoring engagement, best mentoring relationships, your mentor picks you. That means you are bringing value to the table. So I laugh when I see inboxes. Folake, come and mentor me. Ma, mentor me. Ma, mentor me. I go to your Facebook. I see rubbish. I see nonsense. I will be asking myself, if I invest my time in this lesson, will it bring returns? You must be a joker. Mentor waiting. Day your day, I day my day is a day in something. Permit me to be in a lighter mood. I've been talking seriously since. My joy is paining me. What is it? Get a mentor, get a coach, get an accountability partner. It's very important. So, stay motivated after you have picked that skill. You have to figure out where you're going and how you're going to learn it. The last step is putting a plan. Write it out. You know, I plan in my head. I like to plan in my head. Who are you deceiving? Write it out. Write it out. Write it out. You have to plan. Write it out with the shortest pencil. And put it where you can always see it. This is why I like to talk about a vision board. You need a vision board. You know, we trash so many things we don't understand. If I don't have a vision book, I don't have a vision board, but I have a vision book. If I didn't go back to my book, strangely, it was in the middle of the night. If you go on my Facebook wall, you see some things I started writing this morning. I went back to my book. And when I looked at my book, I realized that this is my year of the advantage. Nothing is going to change that. COVID-19 cannot change that. That's what a plan does for you. It brings you back to status quo when you start to falter. God doesn't falter. You falter. God doesn't. So, when you have found that secret to staying on track with whatever goal it is you have to be able to set small and specific to-dos and ink them into your schedule. Consistency is what you need. Consistency forms a habit. Even when you fall off the wagon, get back up. I have a rule I do that I would like to share with you. I don't go to bed any day, not one day, without a productive day. You know, there are days when you are just busy doing nothing. You are busy, but you are busy doing nothing. Even you know you are busy doing nothing. You take an evaluation of the day when you're about to sleep and you realize that you wasted this day. And time is a currency. The moment you realize that time is a currency, time management is another course we like to teach. Because some of us just think we have luxury of time. Time is a currency. Rich people know the value of time. I've gotten to a point in my life that my time must be paid for. Somebody must be paying for my time. If you are not paying for it, God is paying for it. So I don't do anything with my time without not a target of who pays for it. It must be paid for. Hello? It has to be paid for. You can't use me for free. Those days are over. My time costs money. If I'm not getting paid financially, I'm getting paid from the deposit of heaven. And I will attach it and make a demand on heaven for that time spent. Because time is a currency. And some of us are just trading that time uselessly. Time that you can't get back. When you became 40, you cannot go back to being 37. Hello? 40 is 40. 50 is 50. 60 is 60. So if you fall off the wagon, get back up. Get back up. Thank you for listening. The future is here. It's in your hand. You determine what you make out of it. You determine how well you evolve. You make the choices that make sure that you catapult yourself to the next level. Evolve and thrive. Thank you for listening. Those are some of my social media handles. You can find me on social media and also follow me on YouTube. Follow me on YouTube. You will see some really engaging videos that would help you in the next level. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Moderator, over to you. Any questions?
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. You see, before we started this meeting, I was just telling myself that, when we were in secondary school then, when we do exams, you're just writing your exams and you're still trying to get your questions right, and somebody's already collecting extra sheets. So my books is really full of extra sheets right now. So mind-blowing sections. Thank you so much, Ma. You spoke a lot on the trends and the future, new behaviors, technology, mobility, social, very impactful section. God bless you, Ma. In fact, I was just writing down so many things. You said something about social distancing. It's not emotional or intellectual distance. A lot of people just feel because there's this social distancing. So because of that, even my brain is mute. My brain is actually on social distancing too. You talk about getting a new skill, discovering the need around you, and the need for you to keep evolving, reimagining, thinking, and it's really true. A lot of people don't want to think. They don't want to think. You will see them saying, yes, they don't want to think. They will say Nigerians don't like to read. We just, because of the circumstances around us, we just tend to pause our movement, pause our progress because of the circumstances around us. So we have some questions here.
Okay.
And please, before we go on, we would like to hear your feedback. If this meeting has been really impactful and you've gained something, please go to your social media pages or your page and put an hashtag BR Empowerment 2020. Tag our speaker for today. Her name is Folake. Her name is Folake Agunbiade. Hope I'm getting that pronunciation.
Vaughn.
Okay. And then on Instagram, Folake Agunbiade. Please send your feedbacks, hashtag BR Empowerment 2020. Tell us how this meeting has been very impactful, what you learned from this meeting, your take-up points. Where you pepper people, that's how we're going to pepper them for this meeting. Please, let's go and pepper everyone that they didn't attend this meeting. Let's go and pepper them. They need to know what we've learned.
Let's pepper them.
This meeting has been very impactful, very impactful, eye-opening. So the first question we have here, you mentioned in the first time when you started talking, you talked about how that.
Sorry, babes, Chinelo. I think there are people who are here who have questions as well in the chat room, so they might want to drop it into the chat room.
Yes, I'm going to check it up there. These questions came in when you were talking, so I will send this one. While you're responding, I'll check up these ones. You mentioned about the importance of social media in these times. So someone is asking, if you're a social media shy, how can you position yourself to break even since it is the new normal? So a lot of people are social media shy. They don't know how to bring up their personality on social media, So how do you break even out of this, the social media shyness? Please, Ma.
That's a very interesting question. Why I said so is I like to be a bit hard when I talk about this being shy. When I talk about being shy, I ask myself, I understand that some personalities are not, we don't particularly like to put ourselves out there. But the good part of social media is that if you don't want to do video, you can write. So I ask myself, who's shy here? Because I've come to discover that when people say they are shy, it's actually a form of pride. You have bills to pay, you have money to be made, you have stuff to meet up with, and you have an opportunity to create wealth, and you decide not to do it based on the premise of I am shy. It's pride, yes. But if you were going to ask somebody out there to help you out, you won't be shy to ask that person. So why don't you take your life into your hands? If you can't do video, you can write. If you can't write, you can engage a content editor or a social media manager to help you articulate your thoughts. There are people who can do that for you. But you cannot use shy as an excuse to stop yourself from going to the next level. There are too many ways you can help yourself. You can engage someone, you can use video, you can use words. I don't write well. I have some form of writing dyslexia, but yes, I write. And I have editors who look at my work as well to help me. I do better with video. And I will not say because I have dyslexia and sometimes I muddle my words together, I will not write. I'm not shy to make money. There's no shy in making money. You need to find a way around it and maximize your potentials on social media. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Someone else is asking, the babe is asking, how can a startup, like the person has started something before the COVID-19 season, and they're saying, how can a startup scale up this season? Like the competitions are mind-blowing. Everyone is doing what everyone is doing. So it looks like as if as the battle is actually for those people who actually gain some grounds, you know. So yeah, but every goes to social media, everyone is doing what everyone is doing. So it's like a bit confusing. So how can one scale up in this season? In this competitive season as a startup, or someone that just started something before the COVID-19?
I like that question. Number one, you need to start with research. Before you start to scale, you need to know what you're scaling against. Hello? The information is everywhere on social media. Do your research, do your analysis, get your data. Know what you are coming against. When you have a clear picture after doing your research, what you are coming up against, then you can strategically think either by yourself or with a group of highly network critical thinkers as to what angle. There is always an angle. There's always a selling point. In the act of seduction, there is something everyone needs and you have it in your hands. You just need to think it through. Your own angle will now not be the popular angle. It will be something else. Recently, everybody makes moi moi. How many of you know moi moi? Let me give you an analogy of moi moi. We all buy moi moi. But one day, somewhere in my area, this moi moi place opened. I'm like, I'm fantastic with making moi moi, by the way. That's one of the fastest food I make in this world. I peel beans at the speed of light. I love to make moi moi. I make moi moi every Saturday in my house. No matter how busy I am as a CEO, mother, I must make moi moi all day. Hot one. It's compulsory. So I don't buy moi moi outside. But I saw this moi moi embassy and I'm not promoting them. Yeah, sorry, I just gave them free advice. So I saw them and I walked up just out of curiosity because I'm a moi moi person. They had chicken moi moi, turkey moi moi, shrimp moi moi. I'm like, really? All we know is moi moi, let me make you. Which one is shrimp moi moi? Which one is turkey moi moi, chicken moi moi, snail moi moi? There was all variations of moi moi flavors. Hello. There is always an angle. Everybody sells moi moi. Everybody sells akara. Everybody sells sanitizer. Everybody sells face masks. But there must be an angle. You must have a selling point. So look at what you're coming against. Do your research, get your analysis, and look for the angle. There's always an angle to scale up. There's always an angle. I hope I've been able to answer that question.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very, very insightful. Okay, someone also said, you mentioned something about mentorship, like getting a mentor if you know that you're not the kind of person that will have this drive to accomplish things. You mentioned about getting a mentor or an accountability partner, or yes, a coach. So someone said now, how can I get a mentor? You mentioned a lot about mentors. How can one get the attention of a mentor? Like in their fields, how can they get the attention of a mentor?
Now, the thing about mentorship, coaching requires your commitment, and your coach also has to see whether you're a right fit. Coaching is a two-way street. You require some certain skills, some certain accomplishments that your mentor sees. In the sense that, how do you get the attention of a mentor that you're looking at? You need to engage them on social media. and you need to make sense. Because some of the people who have become my proteges are people who have followed me so closely on social media. By the time they say some things, I'm like, yeah, deep. Permit me to use that word. That one is a borehole. So there is a mutual attraction that this person also has value. They want value from you, but you want somebody valuable as well. You must develop yourself in a way where you can engage your mentors. You must. And when you start to follow them on social media, you talk about, you write on their posts, you like their posts, you share their posts, they begin to see you. So it's an exchange of value when it comes to mentorship. With getting a coach, look at the track record of your coach. So you need to look at the coach that fits you and where you are going to. Look at their track record, look at what they've gone through, look at their story. Because gone are the days where you come and coach people with theories from books. No. You have to be able to take people through experiences that have worked for you so that people don't fall. They learn from your experiences and add their own value and add their own learning curve on top of your experiences, and they are able to make it faster because a coach helps you move faster rather than fall and get up. They are able to see ahead of you. They can preempt something. And their personal story determines whether they're a right fit for you or not. So that's how you select a coach.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so the next question is, someone is asking how they can register for your course. They want to register for your course.
Okay, they can find me on social media, follow me, send me a DM, and I'll let them know what courses are available, when it's holding, and all those details.
Okay. Thank you, Ma. So another question that came up, it said, what is your value proposition to identify your competitive advantage in your industry? So it's like saying, okay, how do I position my value? How do I make it known, especially in a competitive industry? So it's like, what is your value proposition to identify your competitive advantage in your industry?
There's something you do that nobody does well as you are. I like to pride myself as a public speaker. I want to think I speak eloquently. Permit me if I self-love of myself. And I've come to know over years that I have a gift in speaking. So your value proposition is, what is that currency? What is that performance currency that when they wake you up from bed, you don't have to think twice? When they give you 2 minutes to prepare for a presentation, you already have something to deliver because it's inside of you. You're carrying it. You're moving around with it. What is that thing people say about you that you do so well? That's your area of value. Now, how do you now gain competitive advantage? You begin to strategically position your value and look out for feedbacks. Because your value is a measure of how people view you, your product, your brand. How people engage you, your product or your brand. So you need to position it. You can't hide it under a bushel. For some of you, you need to do free stuff, free trainings. When I say my time is valuable now, you cannot engage me for free. I've done free, Osho free. In this life, forget it. I did enough free. Even me, I became free, freedom, free Mandela. Wisdom, don't leave me. I became free Mandela. I free. But when I noticed that there was a value, that when for instance, I'm on Facebook. I used to do videos on Facebook for so many years. Early this year, I just took my videos I have like 5,000 friends on Facebook. I even had to start deleting people. I took my videos to YouTube where I can monetize my views. And I found out that only 34 people watch my videos. I don't mind. Before, I used to have like 4,000, 5,000 people watch my videos. But I've come to realize that when you have value, you need to place value on your value. So you first of all put it out there and let people engage your value. then you do what in economics is called the law of scarcity. So anybody that needs to watch my video now has to subscribe on YouTube to watch my video. So if you're not on YouTube and you're on this, so hurry to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube page, because you won't find it on Facebook. When you begin to do that and you see the kind of response you're getting, you find out that interactively, because of the demand and supply that you place on your value begins to grow.
Wow. Wow.
So you need to identify it, place it, strategically place it, allow it to grow, and then place value on your value. Because if you don't value yourself, people won't value you.
Yes, ma'am. Wow. Wow. Place value on your value. Very, very key. Thank you, Ma. So someone is asking, okay, this person has acquired lots of knowledge and skills, but without visibility. So it's like saying no one has actually discovered her. She has learned skills, gone to school, learned trade, something, but she has not been able to position herself to be discovered. How can she be visible?
Visibility, we've said it. You need to put yourself out there in your immediate space, on your own level of influence. How visible are you? If you come to my church, any church I've attended, Pimo and PD are my pastors. When they were in Abuja, they were my pastors. They are still my pastors. There is no opportunity to MC. I will do it. You need to, on your level, put yourself out there. On your level, in your compound, do they know the value you carry? In my house, they know that I'm a content creator. My neighbors in my compound, they know. They will always hear me on the phone or one Zoom call, and you will hear some of the children laughing behind the window. They're like, this woman is at it again. I seem crazy, right? But that's how you're known. They need to know you. If you want to talk customer seduction, customer experience, on this side of if you land on social media, Google customer experience, my name will come out. Wow. I promise you. Google customer seduction, my name will come out. Because you have to strategically, I've done it by my website, my writings, my blogs, my videos. You have to put yourself out there, even on your own level. In your church, do they know you? You say you're a tailor. Nobody in your choir knows you. So
wow.
I don't understand.
Oh my God. So
maybe it's because the value does not really exist. Because if it exists, you can't hide it.
Yes, ma'am.
The reason why you're not telling your church members is because you know that when you collect their material, this is what I ordered. This is what came back. That's why you can't tell them.
Okay. So he's basically saying start from where you are. At least the people around you should know what you are actually doing or what you're about. Okay. Another question. Yes. Another question came in. This day and age of learning skills, does this statement really matter? Jack of all trade, master of none. Because in the Western world, you need to be able to have a menial skill in order to at least save money and things like sewing, self-making, etc. Is it necessary to be, is it really this statement, jack of all trade, is it really a statement? Is it really something? You know, because right now, sometimes people might want to do something, you know, and then COVID-19 comes and they're thinking outside the box. For teachers, for example, now, you know, there's no school. And so even the school, the principals of the school, they streamline the school activities. So teachers are not really forthcoming. So, you know, this word, the jack of all trades, is it really trend? Is it something that is in view in learning a skill?
Yes, but let me explain how you mirror those two angles.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you always have skills that transit some certain level of expertise. As I am, I can give you a myriad of skills that I have that are all tied to speaking. I compare events, I train, I coach, I do speaking engagements, I'm a teens mentor. That means I get to mentor teenagers. I'm still using my talking. So you need to be able to get a myriad of skill sets that come out of a certain value that you carry. If you're a creative person, I sing. That's another way I use my voice. I sing. I do voiceovers. I've counted like 6 or 7. Yes, 7 or 8. Yeah, about. You must be able to look at all the areas. You're a creative person. You're a tailor. Cloth is not selling. Make face mask. Hello. Make face jackets. Make, I don't know, just think out of the box. That skill you have, how do you extend it into certain areas? Because from one single value, you can emanate different skills. So that's the jack of all trade. But at the end of the day, you are still a master of one because there is a center value point. There's a value proposition that ties all the other skills. That's the only way you can marry that analogy and be successful. I can't hear you. You might need to unmute yourself, Babes.
Okay, sir. So as I'm saying, like from what you've said, you're saying that a jack of all trade may not be a master of none, but is better than someone who is master in nothing at all.
I didn't hear you.
I'm saying, okay, the jack of all trade is not really a master of everything, but is actually a master. Is better than someone who is a master in nothing at all. So at least within your skill set, there must be something that you must be able to elevate for your career or for your work.
Okay. Very true. That's it.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, like I said, today has been really been very impactful, and really bless God for Mrs. Folake for coming on board. And like I said, please go to your various platforms and hashtag BR Empowerment 2020, tag our speaker and let everyone know what you've learned. Let everyone see what you've learned. And please, for tomorrow, we're going to also be having a program by 12 to 2 p.m. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you, Ma. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really been very impactful. Everyone, just say thank you to Mrs. Folake. She's been a blessing to us.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you. God bless you, Ma.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Love you,
Everybody.
Thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you.
Wow.
See you tomorrow.